Hey, Washington Commanders fans. Get ready because what I'm about to tell you is news that could be a real gut punch for anyone still holding on to hope this season. The truth is that our quarterback Jayden Daniels' situation is much more serious than we imagined, and his absence could extend for an alarmingly long time. Stay until the end because I'm going to reveal the shocking details of this injury, what it means for the remainder of our season, and why Daniels' future with the team could be at stake. And of course, don't forget to hit like. It's just a click, it's quick, and that's all I ask. The Washington Commanders have been facing a nightmare season with a dismal record of 3 wins and 7 losses in Week 11. Much of this difficulty is due to our quarterback Jayden Daniels' injury, which forced us to start Marcus Mariota, and we know the difference is huge. With a crucial game in Madrid, Spain ahead, the news about our young quarterback might not be good, according to journalist Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, who brought information that left my hair standing on end. Fowler got straight to the point, and the news is concerning. Washington will reevaluate Jayden Daniels after the bye week in Week 12, but I've been told this could easily turn into a 5 to 6 week absence, especially if the Commanders keep losing. That's right, fans. 5 to 6 weeks. This means we might not see Daniels on the field again this season, which is a devastating blow for our plans and his development. Daniels, as we already know, will not play this week in Madrid while the Commanders prepare to face the Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, he has been struggling with injuries since the start of the season, dealing with his 3rd injury in a short span. As if that weren't enough, the Commanders are already without Terry McLaurin, who will miss another week due to a calf injury. Additionally, we lost Austin Eckler early in the season due to an Achilles tendon rupture, highlighting the bad luck our team has had with player health. Our team simply hasn't been able to maintain momentum due to its injury absences, and this is visible on the field. After starting the season with a promising record of 3 wins and 2 losses, it seemed like things could improve for the team, and we even dreamed of a turnaround. But since then, we have been in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, including a painful 25-24 loss to the Chicago Bears in the final minute of Monday Night Football, which left a bitter taste in our mouths. The Commanders have suffered 4 consecutive losses by wide margins since that game, including one on Sunday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks, which shows just how far we've fallen. After returning from an injury against the Hawks, Daniel suffered another injury in that game, a true stroke of bad luck that took him off the field again. With the seasons in decline and playoff chances practically extinguished, the approach regarding Daniel's injury may be different, with the team prioritizing his full recovery and thinking long-term. Fowler added one more detail that makes us think about the future. A loss to the Dolphins in Madrid would leave Washington with a 3-8 record, and Daniels has already suffered 3 injuries this season. There will be a lot to consider between the team and the player. Now, that statement is heavy, fans. It suggests that the management might be thinking about protecting Daniels from further injuries, especially if the season is already completely lost. It's a decision that impacts not just the present, but the entire future of the franchise. After facing the Dolphins, the Commanders will have a bye week, a crucial period to reassess the situation before returning home to face the Denver Broncos. If the Commanders finish with a record of 3-8, there is a real possibility that Daniels will be sidelined for the rest of the season to avoid unnecessary risks. As they currently sit 3 games behind the last NFC wildcard spot, a playoff run may not be feasible at this moment, and we need to be realistic about our chances. As a fan, my heart aches with this news. Seeing Jayden Daniels, such a promising talent, struggling with so many injuries and the possibility of being sidelined for so long is frustrating. We want to see him on the field, leading our offense, but his health is the priority. The team needs to make the smartest decision for his future in the franchises, even if it means not seeing him play again this season. This is a moment for reflection and planning for Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. This potential prolonged absence of Jayden Daniels is yet another chapter in a season that seems to have come straight out of a horror movie script for the Commanders. We are dealing with injuries, humiliating losses, and now uncertainty about our quarterback. The team needs leadership and smart decisions to climb out of this hole. We just hope that, in the end, Jayden Daniels makes a full recovery and comes back even stronger to lead us in the future. Amid all this chaos, news coming straight from our team may bring a ray of hope and much-needed relief to our defense, which is in shambles. Get ready, because what I'm about to tell you is about the return of a player who could be the missing piece to inject new energy and perhaps change the course of our last games. Stay until the end, because this revelation could be the spark we desperately need to reignite the flame of hope. And before we continue, subscribe to the channel now and leave a like, because only here will you get the most honest and unfiltered analyses about the Commanders. Hit the bell so you don't miss any updates on this situation that is heating up. The Washington Commanders, with a dismal record of 3 wins and 7 losses, are desperate for a victory, for a sign of life. And that victory may be on the way, not on the scoreboard, but in the return of a talent. We've already seen some newly signed players stepping up due to injuries, and wide receiver Treylon Burks showed flashes of talent against the Detroit Lions, which gave us a small glimmer of hope. Now, another promising young player, signed a few weeks ago, may also be seen on the field soon, and we are counting the days for that to happen. The Commanders' defense needs reinforcements now, and especially in the future, as it has been one of the worst in the league, and the hope is that defensive end Drake Jackson will be the solution, returning to practice and, who knows, to games. Jackson joined the Commanders a month ago, and we, as fans, were excited about the arrival of a talent for the defensive line. But he soon ended up on the injured reserve list, a bucket of cold water that left us frustrated as we need immediate help. The Commanders signed Jackson a month ago after he visited several teams, but placed him on the injured list to continue his recovery from a knee injury. We haven't had any updates on Jackson or whether he will play this season, but the team has just opened his 21-day window, which means he could play after the bye week next week. It's news that leaves me with cautious optimism, but hopeful to see what he can bring to our defense. The team needs more young players on the roster to contribute. The defense will require a complete overhaul this offseason. Jackson could be a great addition to the roster, considering the Commanders don't have many picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. He has always had the talent to be a force in the run game and as a pass rusher, but he has struggled to stay healthy, which is the major concern. Jackson is only 24 years old and could at least be a great rotational option next season, while the Commanders continue to bolster the defensive line in the draft or free agency. He could also help now and show what he's capable of next season, as the pressure on the opposing quarterback has been non-existent since Dorrance Armstrong suffered a season-ending injury, leaving our defense without firepower. The Commanders need to find a way to pressure the opposing quarterback, and this is an urgent need. Before suffering a knee injury against the Dallas Cowboys, which sidelined him for the remainder of the season, Armstrong was one of the best defenders in terms of quarterback pressure and a leader in sacks in the league. We felt his absence significantly, and the defense has never been the same without his explosive presence on the field. The team had to adapt and use more Jacob Martin and Preston Smith on the edges, in addition to moving Frankie Louvu to the outside cornerback position more frequently than usual. However, the strategy did not work well, and the quarterback pressure rate dropped drastically, leaving our opponents with plenty of time to throw the ball and advance down the field. It's frustrating to see our defense so passive and unable to disrupt opposing quarterbacks. The pressure on the opposing quarterback was the only strong point of our struggling defense, and without it, the team suffered 4 consecutive losses by more than 21 points. A true embarrassment. The situation hit rock bottom, and Coach Dan Quinn had to demote Joe Witt Jr. and take over as defensive coordinator, showing how severe the problem is. Jackson could provide the necessary boost for the remainder of the season, as well as showcase his potential as a key piece of the roster in the future. The Commanders have already used one of their 8 activations from the injured reserve list in 2025, which is a limited resource. Another will be used when safety Will Harris, who was cleared to return yesterday, returns to the main roster. Great news for the secondary. The same will happen with Jackson, demonstrating the coaching staff's confidence in his potential for the remaining games. As a fan, I know the season is lost, but seeing players like Drake Jackson and Will Harris back at practice gives us a bit of hope for the future. It's a sign that the team is trying to regroup and find internal solutions to the problems, aiming to finish the season with dignity and plan the next offseason with more optimism. Now I want to know your honest and unfiltered opinion on Drake Jackson's return. Do you think he has the potential to stand out and solidify himself on our defensive line, even after such a long time off and with a history of injuries? And more importantly, what impact do you expect him to have in the remaining games of the season, considering our defense is in crisis and the urgent need for pressure on the opposing quarterback?